All right, everybody, welcome on in. Golden State Warriors get it done in game one, 99-88. Buddy Hield and Draymond Green getting it done early. But it's not all good news. It's great news they get the win, but Steph Curry, and we're going to talk about that tonight, hamstring strain. Well, we'll get into it, but let us thank our sponsor of the show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Hey, make sure you give Chapman Law Group a call because they can help you out when it comes to legal needs. 415-613-9483. You got a personal injury situation, give Chapman Law Group a call and let them help you. Don't settle with an insurance company before giving Chapman Law Group a call. Otherwise, you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table. All right, everybody. Giants get the Warriors, Giants too tonight in extra innings, set a Wrigley Field record of 9 runs in the top of the 11th. But let me get this band going here. Kill that. There we go. We got so many things going. Get this going. I'm doing this all by myself. Where's my help? Don't know if they're going to be coming in. But, hey, you know what, guys? I want to talk about this because the talk now is, we got one. Let's just wait till Steph, comes back. Steph may not be back this series. You've got to go out and take game 2 as well. Look, Minnesota can be had. They are not a great offensive team when you really put pressure defense on them. The Lakers were a horrible defensive team, and that's what made Minnesota look even better. I realized after watching this game tonight, Warriors stuff them and make them shoot pressure shots. I mean, Naz Reid and Anthony Edwards killed it against the Lakers and DiVincenzo because they were wide open the whole series. So the Warriors need to realize they don't have any games to play with because of Steph's injury. They may not get Steph back till game 6. He could come back in game 3. I would be shocked if he plays before game 3. I don't think he's going to play game 2. But you've got to go out there and play the same kind of effort you played tonight without him. And see if you can. Now, granted, while he was on the floor, they had a lead, something like 8 or 10, and so that gave them a little bit of cushion. But they were able to maintain it. So you're going to have to play the rest of the series as though Steph is not even coming back in this series. Now he may come back, but you've got to take it in a mindset that you're going to have to win it without him. Because if they think, we got a game, let's just don't worry about game 2. We got home court. No, you go out there and you take every game that you can because you proved tonight you can win without Stephen Curry. So we're looking at the box score tonight. Draymond Green had 18. Buddy Hield led the way with 24, and then Jimmy Butler puts up 20. But, it was Draymond Green early. He was 4 for 5 at one point on 3-pointers. And then Buddy Hield, what can you say about him? 5 of 8 tonight from 3, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, gets it done. I thought Kevon Looney was instrumental tonight on defense, just coming in. Pat Spencer, even though he was or Moses Moody was bad tonight, minus 14. He had a rough night. Pat Spencer, looked okay at times and looked a little shaky at times, but he gave him some minutes and gave him some ball handling. And we welcome in Lou to the show. There he is.
Hey guys, sorry Dan, it took me a while to get in.
No worries. And we were just ready to go right after the buzzer.
Yep.
And, I was just saying, I'm seeing stuff in the chat about the, don't worry about Steph. And I thought the same thing to myself. I was earlier thinking, you know what? Let's just don't worry about, you got game one, come home. No, you got to go out and take game two as well, because Steph may not come back in this series.
We don't know.
We don't know. He could come back Thursday. I doubt it. He could come back Saturday. That's pushing it. Hamstrings, especially for a basketball player. I mean, a baseball player can get away with it because he can DH and he can jog. Basketball player, you can't jog. You can't even, you just can't. You can't jog, and you have to be near 100%. Because if you're 70% and you go out there, you're going to make it a strain or a grade 2. Yeah. So they got to go out and take the series like Steph is not going to be involved. I think if they get past this series somehow, they can do that. And I think they can, after watching this game tonight with Minnesota and how they don't shoot well against good defense. I think Steph will be back if in the Western Conference Finals, if not at some point in this series. But most guys, it takes close to 7 to 10 days for a grade 1 strain to heal. So,
and Dan, you got to remember the last couple situations like this where we rush people back. You got to remember, and I know it's different, but you got to remember what happened to Thompson, Clay. You got to remember what happened to KD.
Right.
We've had this sort of a situation before. I thought the one thing today is you almost want to throw this game out. Huge one by the Warriors. They got off to a great start. I think you brought up a great point. Without Green early, that Green basically was the best player the first, 3 quarters. I mean, first 2 periods of the game. And then, of course, Buddy Hield was good. I thought the only way Minnesota came back is then we kept shooting threes. Pods kept shooting threes. Stop shooting. When you're up 20, there's no reason to shoot threes. And I know they made
what they did, Lou, is they started holding on to the ball and waiting to get into their offense until there was 6-7 seconds left.
And then you were forced to shoot.
And they were forcing up 3-point shots that were not good shots.
No.
And they needed to get into their offense, with 10 seconds instead of waiting down to 7. I'm going to go ahead and throw the link out there if Deloading wants to come in. We're also going to do
sports. Crazy.
Yeah.
The Giants game, unbelievable. They should have lost, but that's what makes baseball. We remember last week we were saying the Giants shouldn't have won this game. Tonight they shouldn't have won. They should have lost.
Well, in some ways they should have lost, but Ryan Walker, if they lost tonight in the 9th inning or the 10th, bless you, I would have put that on Melvin. Why did you leave Ryan Walker in there after you walked 2 guys? That's the time you go, okay, he doesn't have his command. We watched it in the Angels game. Yep. He didn't have his command. What does he have to do? He has to groove a pitch in there to because he can't keep walking guys. And so I think tonight Ryan Walker lost his closer's job to Camilo Duvall. I really do.
And then Dan, I know I was watching the end of the Indiana game, but why didn't the pitching coach ever come out in the 9th, or Melvin? You could see he didn't have it. I'm getting a little sick and tired of. I never saw him. I never saw him come out until he took him out.
I thought he came out. Maybe not. I thought the pitching coach came out. I can't remember. I was watching the Warrior game at that time, and I was kind of but yeah, Walker, to me, it's what Walker always was. He was a 7th or 8th inning guy at best, and he snuck up on people last year because Duvall was so bad and he was successful. We thought he was the savior and the greatest closer, since we thought he was Rob Nen or something.
Yeah.
And he
goes too fast. He gets the ball and he throws it within 2 seconds.
Yeah, and Walker gets pissed pitching coach did. Yeah, the pitching
Okay, I
coach
never
did come
saw him.
out.
I
I
must
thought
have
so.
missed it.
And then Walker got lifted and he got pissed off. And you know what, Walker? You should be pissed off at yourself. You've blown 2 wins for Justin Verlander. This team, Verlander should have a minimum of 3 wins with the Giants right now, on his way to hopefully getting what he wants to get 300. And he can't buy a win. He literally can't buy a win with the Giants. I probably would take Ryan Walker out to dinner and then just lay into him. Say, do you know who I am? You know what? Get it together, or I'm going to have you off this team, you clown. No, I'm kidding.
No. And then, as for the Warrior game, big gut check. I mean, you thought it was going to be tough in Houston. If Curry doesn't play, it's going to be Minnesota has to win. And I think what's amazing is of all 4 of this series, the home team has lost every game. So it tells you the home series isn't anything.
Yeah. Hey, Aaron, maybe you can create one of those little things that you do. I like that. How about Ryan Walker? Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And we welcome in Adi to the show. Welcome in, Adi.
What's up, Dan? What's up, Lou?
Hey, how are you?
Would you want to talk about Warriors Giants tonight?
Oh, we could do both, but I wanted to touch on the Warriors real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I did win game 1, and it was actually a pretty good performance, but I think a lot had to do with the lead that we got out to really early and the fact that the Timberwolves could not hit a shot from 3.
Correct. Yeah, they were 0 for like 13 at one point. I don't know when they made their first one.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Rockets game. The game 7 Rockets like years ago. But
yes, when they went 0 for 27 in the 4th.
Oh yeah. I think that definitely helped us out a lot because I think our defense was great, but they did have a lot of open looks, and DiVincenzo missed a lot of threes that he would normally hit.
You guys remember what I said the other night, Sunday night, that they have the chance they have is if they come out and the Warriors are hitting their shots in Minnesota is ice cold because they've been off for 5 days. And that's kind of exactly what happened. We see you deloading. We'll get to you as soon as Adi comes out. We'll get you in there. And then, I think they got off to that early lead. It gave the Warriors some confidence, and the Warriors were playing really solid defense. And it looked as though, and I think the fact that they were tired and that Kerr played 12, 13 guys just to get some fresh legs in there was very important coming off of, I'm wondering if Steph's hamstring injury isn't due to, he played 46 minutes.
Yeah, it might be a little.
He played 40. Didn't he play 46 minutes in game 7? I'm going to go back and look at that box score right now. I think he played 46 minutes the other night. Let me take a look at that.
While you do that, you brought up the other day, and you just brought it up again about the fact that they might be iced. I think a lot has to do with the fact that they're a much younger team, and they thrive off of being out there every other night and having that groove. Whereas if the Warriors had that break, I believe they would have done a lot better, and Curry would not have gotten hurt tonight.
Yeah. And the 46 minutes I'll tell you why he got hurt tonight. And let's hope it's more of a tightening instead of they'll do an MRI tomorrow and get an image of that thing and see, or tonight to see if it is in fact what type of strain. But he played 46 minutes, and deloading said 46 and a half, which he's never done in
and it wasn't even that
years.
Close.
Yeah, hasn't done it in years. And you fly that night, you probably flew out, took a charter flight out Sunday night, arrived in Minnesota Sunday night late, and all that elasticity in your muscle and everything. I don't know. I'm not a trainer. I don't know much about physics, but I do know that when you tax the body, that's when injuries tend to happen. And that's why Kerr has been so careful. They haven't wanted to play Curry that much. And it's what happens with pitchers when they are not stretched out enough, and they keep going and they overthrow, and then all of a sudden their elbow, they got the Tommy John coming.
They are stress injuries, like especially the soft tissues, like they are stress injuries, just overuse.
Overuse. Yeah. And I'm trying to remember what they win that game Sunday night by. What was the final on that?
14. I believe it was 103-89.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Kerr left him in for the last 2-3 minutes.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you thought why didn't they just pull him?
I mean, I thought the game was over really like midway through the fourth.
Yeah, I would say so too. And then talk about pulling point guards. Would it be crazy to say that Pat Spencer right now is having a bigger impact than Pods is?
Yeah, he's a good ball handler. I mean, he's goes in there. I mean, going in against Gobert is not going to work in this series.
And then he was challenging McDaniels too, which I thought was a little much, but I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, when he's handling the ball, like I feel a sense of security, whereas when Pods or Kuminga, they have the ball, it's kind of like they're going faster than they normally would prefer.
Yeah,
to.
or GP2. Yeah, it's something. Now, I wonder. We'll ask this to Deloading. We'll bring him in too. I wonder if
right now
I'll bring him right in. I wonder if they could. Can you sign a free agent at? I think you can if they're haven't been with a team. I wonder if you could pick up a real point guard that that might be available. That I don't know.
Sorry, the Warriors are calling Steph Curry's hamstring strain day to day. By the way,
okay.
MRI tomorrow for further updates, but right now it's day to day. So,
I play fantasy baseball. Everything's day to day on these guys' injuries, and then all of a sudden it's 10-day IL. I mean, baseball players. It's funny because they get these hamstrings, and you think, hey, these guys can, especially if they're a DH or something, they could play, and they still don't play. So you don't want to come back too soon on a hamstring injury, because if he comes back too soon, but I'm confident with Rick Celebrini that they will be cautious. And
I think there's a 0% chance he plays on Thursday.
Oh yeah, he's not playing.
Close.
He's not playing Thursday. No,
I think there's less than 50 he plays on Saturday.
Right.
We'll see.
I agree. I don't think I think the Warriors need to get one of the next two for sure.
That's why watching this game, like when it started and they came out, Steph, the shots he was getting compared to watching all 7 games of last series was like, oh my God, this guy's the most space I've ever seen him have in his entire life. He was just getting whatever he wanted. And then when he goes down, that lead, it almost felt like, I mean, they're a road team, game 1, and it felt like it was must win. Because if that Steph injury is bad, they lose this game, it pretty much feels over.
Yeah.
So them holding on to that lead was huge. I mean, that was season saving to win this game.
Yeah.
Hey, deloading. Oh, sorry, Dan. I just want to ask deloading and Adi one question. Did you guys see about a minute after when they announced that Curry wasn't coming, GP2 went down and he was holding his hamstring? Did you happen to notice that?
Yes.
Where I thought we might even have had back-to-back, but he came back. Yeah. It was a very strange thing because one of the announcers said, "Oh my God, another guy with a hamstring." So
they better
just Naz Reid too. Like
they better hydrate.
Back to back.
Warriors need to hydrate. Stay very hydrated, because you don't want to get any more soft tissue. These guys need to go into some kind of chamber like Steph does back home. Go and get into the chamber and get that body healed up. Hey, Adi, we're going to let you go. Before we do, give us your take on the Giants tonight. Then we got Ryan in the room here. We'll bring Ryan in. What's your take on the Giants game tonight?
I would agree with you. You mentioned it earlier before I was on the show that we viewed Ryan Walker through this magnifying glass last season just purely
Right.
because of how bad Doval was doing. But I would agree with you. I think he would be a great setup guy. I think a better setup guy than him would be Jordan Hicks, but that's a completely
Yeah,
different
I agree
conversation.
with you there 100%. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would,
but
you
their
know,
bats woke up today. Ramos, his at bats were much, much, much better. I can only
yes.
remember maybe a couple of pitches where he went for that outside slider, but it was nice to see that him and Adames are both kind of laying that pitch off a bit more. That was
Right.
refreshing.
Tonight, if you guys missed it, the Giants scored 9 runs in the top of the 11th, setting a record at Wrigley Field for most runs scored in an inning in extra innings. So the 9 Giants put up 9, and for them to be able to do that, they had a 5-3 lead going into the 5th. You thought, okay, Verlander finally gets his first win, and then no, Walker blows it. But Ramos tonight was key. He was 4 for 5, raising an average of 257. Jung-Hoo Lee was 3 for 6. He's up to 312. Adames is 1 for 5, but his average actually, drops a little bit, 222. But Bailey came through, 2 for 4.
Dan, quick question. Would
yeah.
you want to see Doval back in the closer role over Walker?
At this point, yes. At this point,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that would be detrimental towards the later part of the season, just if Doval reverts to who he was last year and now you've destroyed the confidence of Walker?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's why you have the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, well, hey, man, Audie, good to have you on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, good insight there with the Giants and the Warriors. Appreciate it. And we'll have you back on the next time we open the lines up.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for having me
All
on
right.
tonight. Lou, Dan, take care. Deloading, nice to see you.
What's up,
See you
man?
guys. Have a good night.
All right, Audie, take care. All right, we bring in producer Ryan to the show. He's going to have to be pretty excited. He got his camera on. Oh, he brings some.
Warriors.
One
That was a great
game.
win.
Relax.
No, that was great.
You got to win
I love
4.
that win. Nope. It's a wrap for the T-Wolves if Steph comes back. It's a wrap. I'll come on here with some positivity. I think Steph's coming back game 3, and I think it's over. This team does not have it. The Rockets. Honestly, I give a lot of credit to Ime Udoka. He had that team on a string. Every single player felt connected defensively on that team. And we saw today through 2 quarters, 1.5, because Steph, came out. Steph was cooking them. And it wasn't even he had so much, and I think Deloading mentioned that before I came on. He had so much space. I haven't seen him have that much space in a playoff series since the Sacramento series. And we saw
but they're also gonna adjust.
But Steph's not going to be there game 2.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be hard to adjust
this
because he's going to come back and it's going to be like a new game, Dan, because he's going to miss a game. And I
think he's missing. I think he's missing 2 games personally, but
you might be right. You might be right.
He might miss games 2 through 5 because they're every other day.
Mm-hmm.
There's no break until 3-day break until between games 5 and 6. So
yeah, I definitely think there's a possibility he misses game 2 and 3. I do not see him, and it depends on how the series go. I think if the Warriors go up 2-1, he would miss a game 4. I think if they're down 1-2, he would play a game 4.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There's a ton of pressure on the T-Wolves.
A lot
on Thursday night, and
yeah.
they are not. Them playing the Lakers was a huge break for us because the Lakers just were like, you talk about, what's the word I want to say? Just like laying down defensively. They were just.
They're a joke.
They were like, okay, we're playing the Lakers. We're going to play against a minimum of 3 cones out there.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lakers should have never got rid of the guy that's on the OKC now. What's his name? The other, the white guy.
Caruso.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I know
Yeah,
it was
but-
a while ago, but they should have never got rid of him.
Yeah,
but Dan,
he was a great defender for them.
But Dan, you got to remember, Minnesota got lucky because in Game 5, LeBum tore his MCL, so we only played with a half a leg, and that's why the Lakers lost. So,
Oh, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
buy.
yeah.
I don't buy that at all.
That's a fake injury. That's a fake injury. Come on, DiVincenzo.
I don't buy that.
Steph played through the entire playoffs with a sprained MCL to that magnitude. I don't need to see those.
Jimmy played with a grade 2 MCL.
I'm done. Enough with LeBron's post losing in the playoffs fake injury reports. I'm sick of them.
Yeah,
they're
I
all
said the
bullshit.
same thing. I said the same thing, deloading to Dan after that came out. I said, is this every year now? Are we going to get this every year after he loses? It's always some injury report, and then you saw
Did you guys see the meme of him on Twitter in a body cast? Like, what's next? He's going to be in a body cast.
It's getting out of hand.
He's ruining his legacy. He really is.
Yeah, no.
It's I actually agree because as you guys know, I was a big LeBron guy before this year, and I feel like he stepped down a notch.
Oh my God.
No,
Ryan said he was better than
1A.
MJ. That's all we need to say. They said he was better than Michael Jordan. I don't need to say anymore. You had him as the best.
I had him as 1A, but
no, not 1A, the best.
You had him as the GOAT.
No, I said it's a 1A, 1B type of situation.
It's not even 1A, 1B.
He's
just
not
take
even
the
in the
L
top
on
Dan,
five.
I have the receipts.
Hey, just take the L and say move on. I was wrong. It's okay. We all make mistakes. We all make.
Lou, he is top five.
We all make
long
bad
story
takes.
short with LeBron. Long story short with LeBron, I definitely agree. The injury stuff's a little bit too much.
What do we got here? We got dead silence on the air. Let's see.
Are we talking about LeBron after that win?
Yeah, I know. What a win!
Come on.
What a win! And
brought the MCL strain.
I'm hoping that Steph's injury is nothing more than tightness, and he didn't. Sometimes guys have tightness and they rest 3 days and they come back.
That's why the day-to-day diagnosis right now is like positive in my point of view. Because
agreed.
Worst case scenario, the hamstring, they could have just been super precautionary with it and it not had been that bad. But they see it early in this game, they're like, shut him down immediately.
Well, I saw him jog. He was still running.
Yeah, he scored after it happened. A play or two after it happened.
He may have done something even more to it when the way he extended on that kind of little one leg push shot, that he I didn't. Well, he went off of his right leg, didn't he? He shot that off of his right leg. So,
Dan,
it was like both.
Dan, do you think there's any possibility it's just tired legs and it's not as serious as we thought? Because I thought the Nas Reed thing was a little bit worse, and he came back right in, and he's obviously a lot younger than Steph.
I think Steph he was grabbing it. He was grabbing it.
And Nas kind of just fell into the crowd and landed on some people awkwardly.
Yeah, he probably hurt his right in his glutes area. He probably got sore and was having a hard time walking. That's like Jimmy did, but it wasn't as deep.
Just getting this win is huge. I mean, going into the series, people were just overrating Minnesota just in general because they beat LA so bad, but LA
100%
was a joke of a team. Didn't offer any defensive capability to stop Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota in that game 5 where they closed it out, they shot worse than they did tonight, and they won the game. It's just LA has no defense. So tonight I think it was a mix of both rust and the Warriors defense, but I don't think they're going to shoot this bad, obviously, again. But just getting this win was huge for the series.
I honestly don't know how many times they're actually going to score over 100. I actually think the defense is going to hold up, and I think we saw that when Steph came out of the game. I really don't think this Timberwolves team is connected as that Rockets team. I think the Timberwolves have better players, but I give a lot of credit to Ime Udoka. I really think, and like I said when I first came on, he had that team on a string. He really did have a lot of confidence in those young guys. And I also think when you're really young,
Did we lose Ryan?
was in my early 20s, just like a lot of these players on Timberwolves. I mean, huh?
You cut out there a little bit.
Can you hear me? No, yeah, I was just saying, I think the Rockets had a lot of. Hello?
Yeah, yep. We haven't been able to hear you, Ryan, for some reason. The last probably 3 phrases you've said, you went in and out. So repeat yourself.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Anyway, he's back.
No, I was just saying, I think the Rockets were more on a string as a team, and I feel like the Timberwolves are a little bit more disconnected. So I think it's going to be a lot easier for us to score.
Yeah, I think so. And, that Rocket team is young, and they are, like you said, Udoka has brought them together. They've taken on his personality, and Finch and the T-Wolves, they have a lot of pieces that have not been very cohesive for most of the season. It wasn't until the last 2 months that they really started really gelling together.
Agree.
And, they've got a lot of guys that are, I don't know, I would just say they're kind of Randall, Gobert, they're just, I don't know. They're something's not right there.
They're two very different defensive teams. Houston's much more scrappier, like get in your face, deny ball, and Minnesota relies on their length and height to try to cover as much space as possible. But historically, that's what Steph has been throughout his career, been able to figure out better is those taller guys that are on him. The guys that give him trouble are the players that Houston has, like Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, which is why it sucks so much that he got hurt, because he could really find his space in this series.
Yeah. Hey, just real quick before we carry on, Jim missed the game. How bad was Curry's injury? We don't really know. Probably will know a lot more tomorrow. They're saying day to day right now. It didn't look like a complete, blown out tire to me. It looked like, just almost like he was cramping up. But I think we'll see after the MRI. What I hope it is more of a cramp, and that he just comes back magically, but I don't think he will. But that would be, you would expect this type of injury. When you look at his minutes, I don't think he ever played more than 40 all year, did he? In a game?
Never.
And he went 46 plus. That's nuts. And I'm kind of, and I don't get on Kerr very much, but that game was a wrap after they could have pulled him in the last 3 minutes of the game, and he would have.
Kerr coached his ass off.
Yep.
What's that?
Kerr coached his ass off. Every timeout, every sub was perfect.
Yeah, he did. You're talking about Game 7, or tonight?
I'm talking about Game 7 and tonight.
Yeah, he did. He did great. I just wish he would have pulled Steph a little earlier in that game. They were up by.
I agree with Dan. I agree with Dan on that. I think Steph played a little bit too long in Game 7.
And knowing that you had that game and you had a game tonight, and then the travel, it's just rough,
No, I agree with you 100%. It felt like they were putting it on to the Rockets at the end in the last couple of minutes, which at the time I was fine with. But obviously, vision is history. Now that Steph got hurt, it doesn't feel as good.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully he can get well enough for Game 3 or 4. Game 3 is Saturday. Today's Tuesday night. So you get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If it's, I don't know how they, we'll see. But they played a great game.
Would you send
today.
them home right now?
I was just thinking about that in my head. It depends
I
on.
would, right?
I was just going to ask that.
I was just thinking that. I was thinking, because you could send him home and get much better treatment because you get your facilities. He loves to go in those chambers, those ice chambers, and those ice chambers could, heal up things much quicker. Plus, he might be able to get a shot of PRP or something. There's a little more blood flow in there.
Give him whatever LeBron takes every offseason.
That would be illegal.
Oh, really? Is that illegal?
No, I'm just saying. You mean roids?
Yeah. You mean the stuff he never gets busted for?
Yeah. Give him a little roids. Yeah. Wouldn't it be something? They do it and they check him and then the league flags them. Stem cells. Yeah, stem cells. I had stem cells done, but stem cells take a little longer to get working. They don't do it immediately. But yeah, stem cell wouldn't be bad.
You know what's funny with this comment? Hair loss is a part of steroid use.
Really?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
LeBron has none.
He lost his early too.
I've never done steroids, guys.
Yeah,
Never.
I think for you, Dan, it's just genetic, but so let's go around the table real quick. What's your guys' game 2 predictions? How do you guys see it going? Obviously, I think we all think Steph is going to be out, it seems like.
I'd just be curious on how they roll out the starting lineup.
Well, I am 0 for 2 in closeouts for the Warriors, game 5 and 6. I picked the Warriors. So I just did a little reverse thing, and I picked the Rockets on game 7. And then I had the T-Wolves tonight. So I'll take the T-Wolves game 2.
There we go.
And hope it keeps I hope my streak keeps going. So, the T-Wolves are going to come out play a better game, but I do think the Warriors can play with them.
Yeah, I think the big adjustment is going to be if we can get a secondary scorer going with Jimmy besides Buddy.
We have one.
Buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Buddy's going to be, as we saw tonight, is going to, he wasn't very efficient. I don't think he's always the most efficient. So I really think it's important
Keep cutting out.
Too, and is somehow we got to get committed to at least score like 15.
Did Pat Beverly play with the team this year?
He was playing overseas.
Could the Warriors sign him?
I don't think I don't know. I don't think he's been playing. Who would he play over though? Like
he was playing overseas.
Yeah, but he hasn't played in like months.
He hasn't?
No. He got dropped from that team, I believe, as well. He was playing on some like Israeli team.
I'm trying to see. I'm just curious if there's.
I just think you give more minutes to Pat Spencer.
Yeah,
I like watching him play. I think he's good, and he gives a way better downhill threat, like going to the cup than Pods does. Pods was bad tonight.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
he's 36 too. I don't know about Pat Beverly.
Yeah, I was just thinking of, it's interesting. Post didn't get much minutes tonight, isn't it?
I honestly don't expect him to get much minutes at all.
Looney's
played great the last 2 games, and it feels like a way better matchup for Looney this series. So I just think we'll be seeing way more of him.
Yeah,
Even Trace Jackson Davis, because Trayce Jackson-Davis played a ton against Minnesota in the regular season just because he's like one of those big bodies that can defend with them down in the post. So, like, I think you would even be more inclined to see him more than Post in this series.
You might be right. Yeah. Okay. What else you got for? What do you think? What do you guys think, Blue? What do you think for Thursday night?
It's going to be, I think it's going to get ugly. If we know Curry's definitely not playing, Minnesota can't go down 2-0. I think it's going to be like how Game 5 was when the Warriors went back to Houston. You know, the Warriors got their one. I think they're going to be satisfied. They're
How
all
about
gonna be
Indiana?
talking about Curry.
Indiana got 2 tonight.
Well, I got Indiana to win the East.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they
I think
had
it's a
the
little
injuries go
different.
the other way.
Yeah, I think it's a little different because they had the injuries go the other
Yeah.
way, like deloading said. And then also, not just with that, I think also the Cavs, what were they missing? 3 starters? It wasn't just one. Darius Garland's, an all-star.
Yeah.
It wasn't just him. Wasn't it like
It was
DeAndre Hunter
Garland,
and
Mobley
someone
and
else?
Hunter. Mobley and
Yeah.
Hunter.
Yeah. So they're missing arguably, not arguably 2 all-stars and a good player.
I think the one thing too is the Ant-Man has had 2 horrendous games in a row.
Yep.
I think he's due for a huge performance. I think Minnesota was embarrassed tonight. When you only score 11 at home in Game 1, that's an embarrassment. I mean, the fans were booing. I think they're going to come all out.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, you guys got to remember how bad Minnesota played tonight, and the Warriors got the win. Minnesota has to show out. They're going to come out like gangbusters. Like it's going to, they have to win no matter what. They can't go down. And, the same thing, Houston, we all said Houston can't shoot. Minnesota can't shoot. If I remember, Ryan wanted one of their players, a former Warrior, every time there was a trade, we got to get him. He had a bad performance tonight. The whole team played bad. I think it was maybe a little rust. They also probably, as soon as Curry went down, they put their guard down. And, they said, okay, all we got to do is worry about one guy. And that's where Green came up huge. You got to remember the 2 guys that came up huge tonight were probably 2 guys that Minnesota had them on the very bottom thinking about a week ago. When, they were saying, okay, if we play the Warriors, we got to worry about these players. It's just one of those things. I mean, you don't think Green's going to be shooting. I mean, what, he hit 3 in a row?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think he scored 13 out of the first 15 points.
I don't
remember Buddy Hield too. Buddy Hield's had 2 great games. Is he going to keep showing up during the playoffs? So you got to think wisely.
I actually don't think that's our only advantage against the Timberwolves, though. They can't really rebound. We out-rebounded them by, I think it was, 10 or 15 tonight? It was pretty substantial.
They can rebound.
Dan, you want to pull up the box score?
They have a good game. I agree with Lou, though.
Let me grab that here. I was looking.
Dan, I might be wrong, but I feel like we out-rebounded them by a lot. It felt like
it was 33 to 29.
On rebounds? No, that's too low.
51 for the Warriors and
that was defensive
41.
41
for 10 by 10. 51-41.
So I think that's an advantage that we can stick with.
You muck up the paint on defense and you just hound them on the outside. The Warriors were switching like crazy tonight, all over. And they were they were not letting Minnesota get good looks. I mean, even the looks when they were open, they were flying at them. They weren't just letting them take, like the regular season, I'm too far away, just let them shoot. They were still flying past them, just trying to, throw off their rhythm, their timing. So I thought that was a great effort. The one thing I'd love to see the Warriors do, and I said it at the beginning of the show, is go at them again with 10 to 12 players minimum. Minimum of 10. hit them with 12. Minnesota's going to play 8, and that's it. That's it. You play 12 and you do the right type of rotations, you can wear them out possibly. And you can maybe beat them just by being fresher. Because you got to remember, a lot of these guys like Minga and Spencer and Santos, they got very fresh legs. They're like, chomping at the bit to play. And even though they're not nearly as talented, they can go at 120% for 5-minute stretches, while Minnesota players can't do that.
Yeah.
And so that extra effort is going to compensate for the difference in talent, and it's going to bring them a little closer together. And that's what the Warriors need to do. Is just, and I think Kerr knew that tonight going in, is, hey, we gotta hit these guys hard because we are tired. And you saw that in how they just kept bringing in guys. It was like a wave, and I thought he did it very masterfully. And I would just wear these guys out. I mean, because Minnesota, the one thing about Minnesota is they turned the ball over a lot tonight. Tonight, Minnesota's turnovers was 16. The Warriors had 12. If you keep going at them, and they're going to be a little tense because they're going to be playing with maybe not tense, but they're going to be playing with what's the word I want to use? Tenacity. But sometimes when you play with a lot of tenacity, if you don't play under control, you miss shots that you should make because you're going too fast. And you saw a lot of that tonight. Guys were just missing easy shots down low. And, basketball is a game where you got to play with force, but you got to play under, it's called controlled force. You can't just be flying through there, because if you do, you're going to be, NBA players are smart. They'll get in front of you and you'll be having charges left and right. So that's why what's so important, I watch Jimmy play, even though sometimes I think he's a little bit too cautious, like not taking the 5-foot jumper when he can just rise up and take it. He'll pass it.
Tonight he definitely was.
And that bothers me. But sometimes what I love about Jimmy is he plays under control, and he uses his, he gets into that 3-point stance where you can pivot off either foot, or you can, jump, or it's such something that a lot of players don't do. Pods sometimes gets himself into trouble, and he stops, and then he can only use one pivot foot because he doesn't get in, he doesn't do a jump stop. He comes in and he's like, starts pivoting, and he's all over the place. But I don't know. Seems like Pod's short game was a little better last year. He made a lot of floaters. He doesn't do much of the floaters anymore.
Hey, Dan, just two things. I see the chat's all upset about Pods. Guys, we need Pods. If Curry doesn't play, we need Pods more than ever.
Yeah.
We need a ball handler. The other thing I just want to bring up, and then I want Deloading to talk about game 2, is, one of the things we're sort of overlooking is Buddy Hield played 39 minutes and then 40 for a guy that hasn't played back-to-back games this many, and he was our leading scorer the last 2 games. We got to realize he wasn't a starter for a reason. And when you're a starter, it's a lot more pressure, especially when your top scorer is out. And we know how Buddy Hield, can go one time at home. He can hit 8 in a row and then go on the road and go 0 for 12. So let's just, relax and
He's
realize.
had 2 great games.
2 great games.
Yeah.
Can he make it 3?
The Buddy cycle
I'm just
restarted.
saying, it's going to be tough. I think game 2, I love Ryan's, thing. He already says it's over in 6. You know, again,
It's over in 6.
every home team
It's a
has
wrap.
lost. So
It's
yeah,
a
it's a
wrap.
wrap.
It's
When
a
they
wrap.
lose, I'm going to say it was Ryan's fault because you're cursing them and they're only up 1-0. Relax.
Well,
We don't even know
you
how
actually
Curry
gotta
is. So how
relax.
can you predict 6? You know?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a wrap, Ryan.
I
With
mean,
Curry.
and if say he misses the first 2 and we lose, we're going to be down 2-1. I mean,
Did you guys?
we don't want that.
Wait, guys. I know you guys were Warriors fans, but did you guys watch any Eastern Conference basketball? Jimmy Butler has taken a lot worse teams than this, a lot farther, and I feel pretty strong. I feel pretty strong that
situations are
Jimmy can get
completely
us
different.
a game 3.
Completely different, Ryan. East is different.
It's just
than the
one
West.
game. It's really just one game, though. It's kind of the same situation as the Rockets. I think Steph's going to come back.
No, it's
within
not.
a week.
Minnesota's better than Houston.
I disagree.
You thought Houston was a better matchup against the Warriors. All right, I don't want to say any more deloading when Ryan's done because he's such a homer. He's worse than Dan with the Niners. I'm going to let you speak about 2 and speak what you think because Ryan already thinks the series is over. I mean, obviously he thinks Oklahoma's already done because they're down 1-0 too, and the Celtics are down since they're.
I've been saying Oklahoma was overrated all season.
I know, and the Celtics aren't going anywhere. We'll see. We'll see who comes by.
Do you want me to go?
Go ahead.
So the turnover thing you mentioned, Dan, is serious. That's one of the biggest reasons why I did have faith in the Warriors to possibly win this series is because they turned the ball over a ton. They did it against LA, and LA's defense is much worse than ours.
Right.
So you can get them prone to just giving the ball away or force them into bad shots.
Right.
The first thing I thought of as soon as the game ended was I could see game 2 just being a blowout against us, like just them coming out firing. The biggest thing is the Warriors have to come out like ready in that first quarter. If they can counter whatever punch Minnesota throws, that's going to be the most important piece. They'll get points from Jimmy. Hopefully they'll get points from Buddy Hield. That's hoping. But the biggest thing is you don't necessarily need one guy to be the third best scorer. You need a mix of Pods, Moody, or somebody else to just give you points. Because Pods was bad tonight. He was 1 for 7, I think. I mean, Buddy Hield started 0 for 7, and then he finished 7 for 12, which is great. But you got to get one of those bench guys to show up. Moody was horrible again tonight, bad. His minutes were just rough. Draymond started 4 for 5 from 3. You don't know if that's going to happen again. They just need points elsewhere. They can muck up the game against Minnesota because their defense is that good, but they just have to keep up with points. I mean, there was 6 minutes into the fourth quarter, they made 1 shot. That can't happen. They're lucky that they had that lead. They're gonna have to get I do think Pat Spencer is going to be important, just getting downhill. But Kerr's obviously going to have to find another spot to get points from because it's going to be rough.
Hey, guys, I just heard a little clip from Steve Kerr on the post game talking about Steph. And he said the question was asked about him, and he says, we're definitely game planning game 2 that he won't be available. He says, we just don't know, but he said a hamstring, you got to kind of assume he's not going to be there. He said they're going to give the players the entire day off tomorrow. No film, nothing, just taking the day off. They said, we've been traveling a lot. We've been playing back, tough games every other day. They're just going to get them and they're just going to rest them. And the coaches will meet and put together the plan tomorrow. And so, I think that could maybe give the Warriors just a mental, you never know what that could do,
I think that could give us an advantage because I think Minnesota is going to practice tomorrow.
I haven't heard from Coach Fitch at all. I'm waiting for him to call me and see if they are going to practice.
He might not call you, but you're going to get the video.
Get the video.
I got the receipts, Dan.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to move on over to a Larry and Cyrus channel with Big Frank Red. Unless you guys want to keep this going, You guys can keep it going, Ryan. You can help close it. What do you guys want to do?
No, I think we're smooth. I'll go watch
right.
you on Cyrus's show. And Lou, just remember, I've been right about the Warriors all season, and you had to sell me money. So you know it's good.
The bet over and
talk's
under.
fun.
Without one trade, you wouldn't have won. This would have been a below 500
but
team.
me and
Remember
Dan
that.
literally. But me and Dan literally
It took you
told
6
you
trades.
and the channel.
It's
nope,
okay.
Time out.
Welcome back.
Nope.
Welcome back.
Nope.
The series is already over. So if they lose, it's all on you. It's only 1-0.
Dan and I literally
That's why we
told
play
you
it.
all
Dan
season,
and I,
though, they were
dude,
going to
me
make
and
a
Dan
trade.
have been doing this. Don't worry. You can't give Dan any more a bad time about being a 49er homer because, you were the one that all you do is talk about the Broncos. All you do is talk about the Warriors. You and Robert Rothberg, you guys can have your own show and that'll be fine. That's all I care about. Deloading like usual. Great job. Good to have you. Look forward to many more.
Appreciate
All right,
you guys.
Appreciate it. We'll be back Thursday night, and tomorrow night we'll be back with Giants. What's up?
Go into the other stream, and first sentence you say be Steve Kerr coached amazing tonight. I want to see how that goes.
I am. I'm going to talk about it.
Okay. Lou, Dan, Ryan, I'll see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, appreciate deloading.
All right, guys. Everybody have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow night with Giants Cubs postgame show. Everybody have a good one. And again, check out our sponsor. And don't forget to give a like and subscribe on the way out. Make sure everybody likes this video. As you like it, it pushes it out to more people and helps the channel grow. So we really do thank you for that. It means a lot. So you guys have yourself a great evening. Warriors win it tonight. Game 1. Giants win it in extra innings. A really good night for Bay Area sports fans. And the Valkyrie had a game tonight in their preseason first game
so close.
at Chase Center. And I don't know what happened. And you know what? I don't care. Good night, everybody.
They lost.
Oh, shit. They lost. Doggone it. I'm not going to be able to sleep. Dang it. They ruined a trifecta tonight. All right. See you later.